The views and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the policy or position of ONTV's management, staff, or board of directors.
Hello and welcome to Political News, Political Views, the talk show that has no cue cards, no idiot boards, no...
Just a couple of idiots.
Yeah. No, whatever we talk about. The purpose of this show is the fact that our politicians don't listen to us at all, unless, of course, you have some money. I'm not one of them.
Oh, I got $1 if that'll help.
Yeah, that'll get you a lot. But things are happening around us, and what I've noticed is that we don't talk about it. We don't think. Now, this is my opinion. We don't think about these things enough. We don't take the time to find the truth. And what's happening is so dangerous out there. What's happened in the last week and in the last few years, that our very democracy is threatened.
Yeah, I agree with that on that. I mean, you and I will get into some knockdown, drag-out arguments.
Yes.
But at the same time, people don't realize that we still walk out of here as friends.
Well, I had an instance this week where two people that I like personally,
right,
are diehard Trumpsters. And they were talking about how Joe Biden is going to take all our vials of vaccine and send them down to Mexico. And that, Hunter Biden now is going to make some more money so he can have some more 12-year-olds.
It doesn't matter to me who's sitting in the White House, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican. I've been an independent all my life. Now I am a Republican because I've learned that with this duopoly that we have between the two parties, the majority of the minor parties, even though they're classified as major parties, don't have a chance on winning an election.
No, and I agree with you on that. I think that more parties would give more credence to it. Now, England does have 3 parties. Doesn't Canada also have 3 parties?
I believe so. But I'm not concerned with any other country but ours.
Well, no, I'm just saying that we can
I
see
understand that, but
how their process works as compared to ours.
Well, I mean, they're different systems, even though they have a democratic undertone to them. I mean, a lot of, like, Europe has socialized medicine, Canada has socialized medicine. They're parliaments more than they are a democratic country. Or let me rephrase that. We are a republic, not a democratic country. We just have a democratic form of government. But at the same time, like when I ran for governor in 2018, I ran as an independent. Now, if I would have won instead of Gretchen Whitmer, I would have forced the duopoly to an end here in Michigan. I would have made it so that they had every opportunity, the candidates from the other parties had equal opportunity on the stage, because the people have the right to know everybody that's running for that office, not just a Republican or a Democrat.
Well, some of the things that are happening now, and it looks like you and I are going to get into it again, because, CPAC.
You just cannot let him go, can you?
No, because the danger in this person is getting so great, it's not funny. This is not a joke.
He is a strong candidate within the Republican Party. Whether you like the individual as a person or you don't like his policies, the hatred for this man is unbelievable.
The hatred is caused, he's the source of it. Haven't you, I have to argue
All
this
right,
point.
Why
is it that Republicans, this man can do no wrong? Now, I'll give you some examples. When they brought up about Stormy Daniels and the other woman and the other women that he had, okay? Now, he did that, Kennedy did it, Johnson did it, they all did it. But he said, I never did it, I never did it. Look at what they did. Look at them, look at them. It's look at everybody else. And Jerry Falwell, he got the Christian vote. Now, the Christian so-called doctrine of, love thy neighbor, I mean, they didn't say go that far, but, he got, when they questioned him on it, well, why Trump? After all these allegations, and the women came out. Well, he wasn't in office, so he gets a mulligan. Okay. Well, what about Clinton? Oh, Clinton. No. Clinton is just filthy.
Let's look at it this way. Okay. As we move forward, and I'm going to say it this way, as we're moving forward into the future, okay, time-wise and stuff like that, Trump has come under more criticism through social media than any president in the past.
Great.
Because now there is cameras present everywhere that you go.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that was one of the things that I have said on this show, and I don't think I said it last week, so I'll say it twice this week. When you are on camera or social media, you are recorded. Mm-hmm. Those things can be found, they can be traced. What just happened in the White House just a little while ago, and if I can bring it up, the candidate for the Office of Management and Budget has withdrawn. She made comments that were inappropriate, that were wrong, and she's now paying.
Yeah, but who are they wrong? I don't even.
Democrats and Republicans. She was equal opportunity. She gave her opinions on things, which came back to bite her.
Okay, that's a different story than making. I mean, because right now we're in the cancel. Now
explain cancel culture to me, because I have no idea.
They want to cancel. You do this to me every time I bring up something that you want to put me on the spot on.
Well, I don't know.
Which is fine.
You can tell me that it's playing Monopoly. I don't know.
The cancel culture is anything basically that the Democratic Party, and I'm saying Democratic Party, it's more on the Democrat side than it is the Republican side. If they don't agree with what your group or individual person is pushing for, they ban you, bar you, do whatever they can to get you out of the picture. They basically cancel you out.
Give me an example.
An example would be like Barack Obama and Clinton. They all spoke well of Dr. Seuss. Biden never mentioned Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss, the writer, has always been across this country as a very well-known writer of children's books. Okay, Biden had nothing to do with it this time. Every president has given Dr. Seuss, I forgot the gentleman's name, acknowledgement to what he has done for the youth of our past. Yeah. And Biden doesn't want to recognize them, so he basically canceled that gentleman out. That's a good example of it. And it was during this book month, I forgot what it's called, Reading of Across America or something like that. I don't know. I just caught bits and pieces of it on the way in here. That is a perfect example of what's going on with this cancel culture. Now, and it's across the board. If you talk bad about the Green New Deal, they find a way to block you and push you right out of the picture. Because that's one thing I don't agree with, is the Green New Deal. It's too expensive.
Well, let me throw something in on the Dr. Seuss books. The story that I read just before I came in here, Dr. Seuss's son said they will stop publishing 6 of the books, not Dr. Seuss completely, just 6, which kind of seemed strange to me. Why don't you, the pictures that are in there were of black people in skirts and barefoot grass skirts, and then Asians with chopsticks. Now, to me,
if it's the truth, why is that racist?
well, okay. Well, why is the Cleveland Indians racist? I mean, we've grown up with them.
The Washington Redskins and all this.
Yeah,
and that.
I mean,
that's
to me,
these are groups that are just
I'm
hateful.
only saying this. Now, this is my opinion, and apparently it's wrong. And if it is wrong, then I'll acknowledge it. But this is my thinking in that. The Washington Redskins, Cleveland Indians, they, with a football team, that to me would be an honor. It's not a...
That's the way the actual tribes, most of the tribes, seen it.
Yeah, that was a funny thing. A lot of the tribes were cool with it, which I still... I mean, that's one that I'm kind of like...
I mean...
Well, if there's a picture like that in the book, why don't you just take that picture out and reprint it without it?
When did our society get so sensitive? I mean, we're talking about a generation that grew up with Beavis and Butthead, South Park, and all this.
Oh,
I
well,
mean,
wait a minute. South Park hasn't stopped.
Well, no, but
They've gotten
you can
worse.
see both of these
No,
still.
I agree.
But the fact is, this society has gotten hypersensitive to what's around them. I mean, we're raising a bunch of children that have no knowledge or any accountability to the fact that they're not going to know how to handle any situation.
Well,
They're going to want to run and hide behind a chair and a desk to avoid confrontation.
I agree with that to a point, but
I did. At least I
Lately-
didn't say this time what I said last week.
lately we, for example, with George Floyd, we watched him die.
Mm-hmm.
We watched the officers on top of him. He wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
The young man that was killed in, I want to say, Missouri, he was 19 years old, Elijah.
I don't
can't
know
think of
that
his name.
one.
That was sad. He was so gentle a person, but they killed him.
You're talking about the police officers.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
I'm not saying there's not bad police. And what happened to George Floyd, which I do know of that incident,
Okay, but
that was bad. But we've got people who are running around saying, and this is mainly in the black community. You listen to, I listen to WJR because the radio stations has, to me, they bring in both sides of the story. And they have people calling in. And I've sat here and listened to how, this, I'm not going to mention his name, but he's on there all the time. He comes on there and says, yeah, cops here in Michigan and all over the country are going around purposely killing black people. That's not the truth. Because I'll tell you what, when the riots, some of the riots that were going on during all this here in Detroit, the first thing out of their mouths when things started going wrong was, where are the police to help us? And the police were right there with them. I mean, to give this false context that they're afraid of the police is a lie. Because the police are the first ones they call when they need help. Okay? The fact, they go down, and I've heard this over and over again, and I can't vouch for it. I have plenty of people I work with that are of different color and creed and nationalities. Okay? Every one of them that I've spoke to, they're not having these issues. They're not driving down 8 Mile and being pulled over by the police unless they're doing something stupid. Okay, I get frustrated hearing all this going on.
Now hold on.
Hold on, nothing.
That's not entirely true.
What's not entirely true?
That if you're doing something wrong, there are people that have been pulled over.
I understand,
I was
but
pulled
what-
over because I had a Dennis Archer bumper sticker on my car, and the officer told me when I asked him, "Why'd you pull me over?" Because I didn't have my proof of insurance. I want to know how he saw that from his car.
Well, he ran your plates.
Yeah, and he saw that I had just moved up here, and I had that Archer bumper sticker on. So naturally, then I
When
must.
was this?
Oh, this is back in 1995.
Okay. Either way.
Well, no,
But no,
because
the majority,
can't-
let me rephrase it. The majority of the people that are being pulled over, whether they're white, black, pink, or purple,
and white
they're
are
doing
being pulled
that's
over.
why
Yes.
I said
Young, yeah.
they actually are doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and that's how they're getting pulled over. They aren't being targeted to be pulled over. And if you want to
First
find
of
out
all,
about this, go
don't-
talk to
First of all,
Chief Craig.
I like Chief Craig.
He's a very good
I
he's
like
a very
Chief
good
Craig,
police
Ike
chief.
McKinnon, but you cannot sit there and say that there are not police officers that do
I
it.
never once said that. I just got
And
through
that
saying
is
there are bad police officers.
White officers
But you
and
cannot
black officers.
quantify to the fact
But
that
you
it's the
can't-
majority of them.
You can't. No, I won't say that.
I mean, right now we have
agreed.
the Democratic Party who does it the worst, that are sitting here characterizing groups. They're playing not party politics but identity politics. I've caught a couple of Republicans doing it, but it is the majority on the Democratic side.
Okay, and then all the tweets that came from Trump. Like
What about
when
his
you're
tweets?
putting them
He
in the
puts his
car,
own foot in his
don't be
mouth.
gentle. Yeah, well,
I know
that
that.
doesn't help.
I didn't say it did. And I am not defending him. I have never once defended him.
Okay, then the issue here is that there are some bad cops. What percentage, I can't tell you. And why they're that way. Now, here's something that happened in the insurrection. There were a lot of police officers in there.
Yeah.
And
There was a lot of them that stepped out of the way, not wanting to fear for their lives, supposedly. And they're supposed to stand there.
29 of them.
Hey, they're supposed to be doing their job. They knew when they took the
They
job,
were
they're supposed to
attacked
stay.
by fellow police officers who had their badge.
I can't answer for these officers.
Well, then you can't say that it doesn't exist, nor can
I
you
never
say,
said it didn't
nor
exist.
can you say it's the majority. And just
I never
because
once said it's the
somebody
majority.
comes on the radio and makes a statement like that, this is where this crap starts. And
That's
then it
what I was
escalates.
getting at. I didn't state that. This is what I was saying, he was saying, not
Well,
me.
what bothers me-
He says he goes down 8 Mile every morning, and at least twice a week he's pulled over going down 8 Mile in Detroit.
I think he might be pulled over.
Either
once in a
he's
while,
driving too fast or he's driving improperly. I mean,
there
he's
are-
gotten speeding tickets. He's admitted to them. He says they've written him up for impeding traffic, which to me is a common way cops let you get off the hook from getting points on your driver's license, but yet you still pay the fine. But most of the time, and I didn't say this is good, but you can go up to a court and fight your ticket and
Okay,
say,
so-
look, I can't afford the points. What's the fine?
Okay, so let's look at it this way. This is an issue that could be taken care of. This is an issue that we could come together, but we don't because we have factions on both sides. We also have on both sides, and I'll agree with you this, I won't say Democrats aren't involved in this too. They are in some instances. There's some idiots over there, and there's some idiots in the Republican side.
Correct.
But the issue with George Floyd was that we saw it in real time. You didn't see.
I didn't say it. I mean, the officers were in the wrong. The one especially with his knee on his
Chauvin,
back.
yeah. Well, what's really amazing is the fact that
Or on his neck,
apparently
I should say.
they knew each other.
Yeah,
So
but
there was more to this
I think
story.
there was animosity in the background between the two
Yeah,
as well.
I think there
Because
is
if
too,
I remember
yeah.
it, George Floyd was also a security
But
officer.
then there were some others. Breonna Taylor, that whole issue. And then when the
Breonna
Attorney
Taylor,
General-
I have an issue with that
Okay,
one.
go ahead.
Because her boyfriend did shoot at the police officer.
Yes, because they did not acknowledge that they were in. They also sent the ambulance away.
There's too many
And they
conflicting
shot-
issues on that one.
Yes. Isn't that funny? Because the Attorney
It ain't
General...
funny on there, no.
The Attorney General went before the grand jury, and even the grand jury people came out and said, no, he didn't tell us all that.
Right.
So they couldn't make an honest decision. Now, was he covering it up? Hard to say.
We
Hard to
never,
say.
personally, we
know.
don't know what was going through his head at all anyways.
Well-
we can't really judge by that. But I'm telling you right
Okay,
now.
so then-
Now, wait. I'm telling you right now, anybody that's foolish enough to brandish a gun at a police officer, you deserve to be shot.
How about
Because
just
I'll
an
tell you
average
what,
person?
as a police officer, excuse me?
How about just an average person?
It doesn't matter who you are. If you're brandishing a gun at a police officer, you deserve to be shot.
Oh, then how come?
Because that officer, he's just like every one of us, okay? That man is, and let me rephrase that. I shouldn't say deserve to be shot. You're likely to be shot is what I should say. Let me correct that. The whole fact of the matter is, these officers want to go home to their families just as much as every one of us do. But when a criminal comes up to you, or comes up to an officer, points a gun at that officer, what do you think that officer is going to do? He's going to try to go home to his family. And I've never been a cop,
Okay.
but I'll tell you what, if I had a handgun for my protection and somebody pointed a gun at me,
Okay,
I'm going to shoot them.
In-
Not an officer, but if it's
in the Breonna Taylor situation, they were on the other side of the door. Also, the apartment downstairs got shot up, and the amount of rounds of bullets was just in excess. She was asleep in bed. Now, if somebody is at your door, and it is the police, you damn well better hear them. Now,
See, that's where the conflict is. There was reports that somebody heard the officers announce, and then there's reports that they didn't hear
okay,
the officers
the person
report.
downstairs, first he said he did not hear them, and then later on he said, oh yes, I did hear them. Well, wait a minute, if you heard them downstairs, now if the guy was in a stupor, in the sleep, in the back room, it is possible they didn't hear him, because even in my own house, from floor to floor, I cannot hear things. So it could even be possible that they could announce in my house and come barging in, and I didn't hear it. Not that I would have a gun and start shooting, but
Policy is for the officers to keep announcing until they get recognition
apparently
from.
that's what didn't happen. Now, he did shoot at them, yes. Did he shoot to harm them, or did he shoot out of defense?
That could be construed both ways. You can look at it both ways on that.
Yeah, you could.
But at the same time, like I said, he fired on officers.
Okay.
Officers'
How
natural
about that?
response is
How
to
about the young man? That, because I brought this up, and you put your foot in your mouth, so I'm gonna, tie your shoe for you.
Okay.
How about the young man with the gun in Wisconsin, in Kenosha? He brandished a gun.
You're talking about the one that shot the protesters. Mm-hmm. He was feeling threatened, is what I understand on it.
Oh, so he had a gun, and he was threatened by a skateboard.
Hey,
Well, you know something.
there was video of him running away until he got cornered.
I have a cherry pie in my car. I'm going to bring it out, and I'm going to flash it in front of you. Now, you keep your gun in your holster. Don't you shoot me, because I'm threatening you with a pie.
The pie isn't going to hurt you.
Skateboard.
A skateboard can hurt you.
Okay, well, let's make it something else. A ladder, a shoe, a belt. I have a belt. A
Okay.
belt can hurt you,
Yeah.
so that's a weapon.
Yeah.
So what you're saying then is that he felt threatened to shoot someone, but yet
First,
he was
let me
armed.
put it this way: you come at me swinging a belt, and I have a gun. I'm going to shoot you.
He was the one with
If
the gun.
you're swinging at me,
He was-
I understand.
Okay, so they went after him
I'm
because
not.
he
I
had
can't
a gun.
answer for him.
Well, no, but you did. You did exactly that. You say anyone that's brandishing a gun can expect to be
I said it to an officer.
to an officer. You even said to a person.
Well, let's put it this way: if it's me, I can speak for myself. Okay, I can't speak for other people. But for this instance, if somebody is going to threaten my life, whether it be a skateboard or another handgun,
No argument. I have no argument.
I
to
will
that.
drop them.
I have no argument with that. But you can't carry a gun when others are defenseless, and then when
You can
if
carry
they,
a gun constitutionally whenever you want.
But he used it, and then he bragged about it after he was released. And he also got $2 million. I mean, there's people out there that are supporting him.
There was videos of him actually trying to get away from them.
I haven't seen
He
those
did
videos.
not. He did not turn and fire on them until, according to what I presumed, because if I remember right, what you're talking about, I can't remember the young kid's name.
Rittenhouse.
He came out there, supposedly the story is he came out with the fire extinguisher the first time because there was a dumpster fire that the protesters had set on this dumpster. He came out with the fire extinguisher and tried to put it out, and they started to attack him. And at that point, he had his, it was a long rifle, if I remember right. He had it on his back, on a strap.
Yeah.
And then once they started to attack him is when he pulled the gun around and brandished it. And he did run from them originally, but when he was cornered is when he shot.
Was this seen? Because the film that I saw, he was not cornered, he was on the street and he was advancing, number one. Number two, you told me that an AR-15 is not an automatic weapon.
It isn't.
Okay, all right.
It's a semi-automatic.
Okay, I'll take that.
Unless it's
I'll
been...
take that, okay. How hard is it, how many times can you pump that finger to have it shot, have it shoot?
You can do that with any semi-automatic.
Okay.
As fast as you can pull the trigger, it'll fire.
Okay. Pretty dangerous, isn't it?
Any gun's dangerous.
Oh, well, then everyone should. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do the Trump Archie Bunker system.
What's that?
We'll give everybody a gun, and then everything will be okay.
Texas did that for a while,
Yeah.
and the gun crimes dropped
Yeah.
because everybody was afraid that everybody's got a gun. I mean, you can go on YouTube. There's a video. It happened in, I believe it was Dallas, Texas. A gunman went into a jewelry shop with a shotgun, and he tried to hold up the jewelry shop. There was like 9 or 10 people in there. I think 3/4 of them all pulled out handguns.
I am
And
not.
he tried to run away, and he couldn't because he was locked inside.
I am not against, or I am not for gun control, but I am for weaponry. I don't think that people need to be carrying guns on the street.
You don't think the people have the right to self-defense? The Constitution guarantees that.
Self-defense.
Yes.
Okay.
The Constitution guarantees the right to bear arms. That is the simplest constitutional right
Okay,
out of
I'm
all
gonna
of
go
them.
back-
It
I'm gonna
states
go
right
back.
on there, thou
Okay.
shalt not infringe upon.
Okay. When was that written? We're going to go back to it.
1776
1774.
or 74.
Okay. So 1774, 1775, ratified in 1776 and voted
Correct.
on. Okay. What types of guns did they have then?
Muskets,
And how long did it take to load a musket?
depends on how quick you
About
were.
8 minutes.
No, it
about
depended
8
on how
minutes.
quick they were with them. There was plenty of
No,
soldiers
they
that
showed
could load it quick.
when I was up at the.
You had any of these soldiers that were alive that they could load it and show you? You're talking about reenactments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they showed how it was loaded and how they had to get the gunpowder and get in. That's why they had different levels of guns. So one could go drop down, reload, and go to the back, or
You do know
just drop
before
down.
the Civil War, the
Revolutionary
War was over, they had advanced some of those.
Yeah, but my point is, at the time they wrote that, they didn't have the guns that they have now.
You're right. They didn't.
And there are now. Okay, so if this is
That's
the case,
why we have current laws right now that are up and beyond the constitutional rights for military-style weaponry that bans it. You have to have special permits in order to get some
but
of
a
these
lot
weapons.
of them don't.
There isn't too many people in the United States that has military-style weapons.
There were a lot at the insurrection.
No, there wasn't.
Yes, there was.
Who had an automatic?
That's on film. You need to watch those films.
You can't tell if a rifle is an automatic from a film.
They have shown it was military style. They were coming in with the hands on the shoulder. You need to watch those films.
Just because the
Watch the
militias
films.
are doing this military style
I don't
doesn't
care
mean
if
they
it's
have
malicious
military
or not.
weapons.
When you have instances where people are being killed like this, then something has to be done. Or do
You're
we
not
just say,
going to go against. You're trying to tell me that. Are you trying to say the
I'm saying that
Constitution
there
is
are
outdated?
people. To a degree, yes.
No.
For the style of guns that are
No.
out there, yes.
No.
Well, what are you talking about? If I have the right to bear arms,
Yes.
what arms are they talking about?
There's a list
To
of
defend
them.
myself.
There's a list of them right there in the laws.
So then why do I need a permit?
You
If
don't.
the Constitution says I can have them, why
You
do
don't
I need
need
a permit? Oh, I
You
can
can
just,
open carry. It's legal without a permit.
Oh, no.
Yeah. The only people that cannot have a gun are people with felonies.
Then why is it
Or
that you can
and
go
domestic
down to
violence.
Indiana and you can buy a gun, but you can't in Michigan?
No, you all have to go through background checks.
Oh, but they don't want the background checks.
Well, I
And a lot of
believe they
them
are.
don't. Indiana, you can go down and buy all the guns you want.
No, they have
Yes, you
background
can.
checks.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
You better look that one up.
No,
They
you
have
better look
background
that one
checks.
up. I checked that, and that your
I
pants are,
believe they have a 3-day background check.
No.
Michigan has a 7-day.
no. Indiana, you can go to the gun shows. You can buy the gun right there and bring it back.
That's.
Check on it.
I don't think you. Well,
on
the
it.
gun shows are different. I know that. But they finally got cracked down on gun
I'm
shows
saying
here
this,
in Michigan
that
too.
they're just because the law says that you can carry a gun, there are people out there that shouldn't. And
Oh,
there
yeah,
are a lot
yeah.
of people that are being shot. But now we have people that are carrying them. Look what I have. And, okay, probably the majority would never shoot somebody on the street.
There's no probably about it. That's the truth.
But there are those that do. And there are guys that, first of all, one thing that is absolutely true, you will never, ever confiscate all the guns in the United States. So Republicans, stick that up your ass.
Yeah, there's
You-
you would have an insurrection and a
Well,
revolution to try to go
no,
up and
you would
pick up
have
all the
low
guns.
unemployment. You would just hire people to go around and collect the millions and millions of guns.
There's
so it
more
would
guns
never,
than there are people.
That's exactly right,
Yeah.
and they would never collect them all. So as long as we're
No, there'd be a revolution over that.
let's take this up a notch.
Oh, here we go.
Insurrection.
What about it?
Okay, it was really funny today how a young man, he got arrested, and he said he dressed up like Antifa. He was a Trump supporter, and he was there to have the election overturned. But he dressed up like Antifa,
Okay.
and he took a cop and took his body armor and wore, he beat the cop up and took his stuff.
Right.
Now, so now we got Trumpsters dressing up like Antifa.
You have a Trumpster.
Oh, no. There's a whole lot of them.
Well, I only know the one that you just said.
Christopher Wray.
Because the majority of the protesters were
a lot
still.
of the protesters are coming out now saying we were used.
Yeah.
Trump lied.
No matter how you feel about Trump, okay,
You
he
know-
is part of the Republican Party. He is not going away. And the Democrats and the Republicans have to deal with this gentleman.
Trump has the ability to get people to commit acts of violence. He condones it.
Anybody does that. Anybody can do that.
No,
Not on his level, but
No.
anybody can do that.
no.
Oh, I'm sure
You don't
if I
have
want to go
militias that are so tied. They're not tied to the Republican Party, and they say so. They're tied to Trump.
well, that's your opinion.
No, that's what they're saying.
I haven't heard that. That's your opinion.
Well, that's because you're not listening.
I'm not paying attention to half the
You
crap
need
that's
to.
going on because
This
I'm paying
stuff.
attention to what's going on
Do
in
you
Michigan.
know that all the addresses of the people in Congress went out? Senators and workers and congressmen. They know their home addresses.
Okay.
You know that went out on the internet. Somebody put it out.
Right.
Okay, they now fear for their lives, and some of them. Well, you know what's really amazing to me?
As much as they're playing party politics, I mean, come on. You got to
so
figure
then it's
the
okay.
hatred level for what. No, I didn't say it was okay. As much as the hatred level is out there for our Congress people and senators.
Okay, what's your opinion of Gretchen Whitmer's situation?
What situation?
When let's just say
when she was being where they were
stalked
talking
and
about.
let's just say they got
kidnapping
away
her.
with it. How do you think we would have handled that?
Well, they didn't do any. They didn't get
How-
away with it because the law enforcement stopped it.
Yeah, but no, let's just say they did. How do you think?
I don't know
how do
what
you
to
they
think
would
on
have
that situation other than the fact it didn't happen.
How about Pence?
What about Pence?
What if they got a hold of Pence? What if they did put him in the gallows? They had the gallows there. They built it in the parking lot. And they were going to hang Pence. Now, his wife and daughter were there. Let's just say for our argument, because
you're
it was,
trying to do a hypothetical thing.
I'm trying to say that it came that close.
Well, you're trying to. Okay.
And it never should have gotten that far. That never should have happened. No president. He lost.
Right.
He had 63 court hearings.
Right.
Never once provided any proof. Bring your proof.
How long
Going
are you
outside.
How long are you going to dwell on the hatred of him?
Because what he's doing is he's causing a division. He wants an autocracy, and you cannot see this happening. He wants an autocracy. Now he's going after the Supreme Court. He has also marked, now he didn't say, let's go and beat the crap out of these people, but he did mark them as enemies. Now, what he does, he feeds that. And he's not the only one. Others in the past have done that.
Okay.
And one was Hitler. Hitler fed that stuff.
You cannot
autocracy
compare,
people do that.
You cannot compare Trump to Hitler.
Yes, you can. Because
Hitler
the process
was a mass murderer.
Wait a minute, I didn't say down the road. I didn't say down the road.
He was a mass
I'm
murderer.
saying how he came up.
I don't care.
How he came up is a process.
You cannot compare Hitler to
How,
Trump.
Under those conditions.
No, not even under those conditions. Then you are sick.
No, because Hitler fed...
Your mind is flipped over more than what you want to acknowledge.
No, Hitler fed the frenzy in those people to get them to do what he wanted.
Look,
Trump
Hitler
is
was a
in
mass
that
murderer.
area right now.
You're trying
He
to say?
is whipping the people up into doing things that they shouldn't have done. Okay, so
that he's a mass murderer.
I didn't say that.
That's what you're saying.
I didn't say that.
You compare him
to
Hitler.
No, I said in Hitler's coming up, right after Mein Kampf, and even the Republicans said, this sounds like a putsch. That came from a Republican. This sounds like a putsch.
Well,
do you know what is a putsch?
Nope.
It's when Hitler got his army together, well, before he got into the legislature, and then he tried to make a run to take over.
Okay.
Now, he had his brown shirts and he had his
Just like
SS.
we have brown
now,
shirts.
that's when it started. That's when it started, and that is where we are now. Trump has the power to get these people to do these things.
No.
Now, he doesn't tell them, nor did Hitler tell them to do it, but he frenzied them up. And they did. There is a beginning. Hitler did not, before you go any further, Hitler did not start out that way.
This is your way of trying to spread the hatred that you feel for one man.
This is a man who wants to have an autocracy, who wants to be in absolute control. He pushed down the Congress, even though the Republican Party.
You need to get over the hatred for this man.
No, this is a process.
Need to let it go.
No, you are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong.
I'm
wrong. Yes.
Only because I will not give you the right to accuse him of mass murder?
Hitler, you're talking the summation of Hitler. I'm talking about when he started out.
I'm talking about his entire life.
Right. You're talking about his entire life. I'm talking about the time that Hitler started. He started and got an autocracy.
6 million
that was
Jews.
later. That was later.
Give a shit.
But it started. It started somewhere. And you are keep saying, well, you can't say Hitler because you take him as a whole. I'm saying
you're
this
taking
man,
Trump as a whole.
No, I'm not. I'm saying he's signing. He wants an autocracy. He's trying to shoot down the democracy. He lost the election. He lost it.
Yes.
And he refuses to say that. He keeps having people in this conspiracy. He has senators.
How would you feel being Trump? Shut up and listen.
Prove it. Listen. Prove it. If you have the proof, just like the pillow punk.
Where's your proof?
The pillow
that
punk.
He's like Hitler.
They checked it. That he's like Hitler. Look at the process of which he's going. Look at what he's doing.
Is not
he
a mass
has
murderer.
His militias. He has the following. This is the same process that Hitler came up with. Hitler didn't come out of the womb killing people. You look at history. Look at history. I did not say the whole Hitler experience. I did not say that. I said from the time he started.
He's just
like Hitler at the time that Hitler was coming up.
You can't do it.
It's true.
No.
Even Republicans have said this. The way that CPAC went, it's like a putsch.
You know, even though I'm holding my temper back because I did explode on you on this before.
Yes, you did, and you're wrong.
I will not give you that opportunity.
Wrong. You are saying Hitler as a whole. I didn't say Hitler as a whole.
You can't give anybody any part of Hitler.
Wait a minute.
You can't
okay.
do.
All right.
cannot
all right.
compare
You can take
him
Hitler,
to anybody
you
else.
can take Saddam Hussein. You can take Mao Zedong. You can take Mussolini. You can take Chirac out of France. They all came up the same way. Authoritarian. They had their army behind them. And that army was not the army of the people. That was their personal army. Now, he doesn't have an army yet. He does have a militia, and they do listen to him. And no, he does not come out and say, go kill these people. He plants the seed, and they do it. And he knows it. And the others feed into it. Now, if they don't know the difference between right and wrong.
What about the Democratic person that shot Steve Scalise?
Scalise?
Yes.
Yeah, he went out there, and that
Was that Trump?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, that came off of Trump's words.
That came off of Trump's words.
Yes. You keep saying
You blame a Democrat for listening to
you
Trump.
keep saying
to shoot a Republican.
You keep saying that you have a hate for this man. Did you ever consider that he asked for it? Did you ever consider that he brings a lot of this on himself? Did you ever listen to some of the things that he said? When Gretchen Whitmer, when they broke that, his comment was great. Well, she didn't thank me for the FBI saving her.
Like I said, the man.
He didn't
puts
say
his
it was
foot in his
wrong.
mouth.
What he said, free Michigan. And those same people that were up there in the militia were the same ones that were also at the insurrection. They matched the faces up. You don't want to admit that Trump is more than just someone who's spouting things.
There is no man or woman alive that's more than anything else than any one of us around.
Let's take the election itself. You wanted proof? Okay, you say there was no help from Russia.
There was no proven help, no.
Well, as a matter of fact, you're wrong on that. Bill Barr went to great lengths to make sure that the exact...
then why wasn't this brought up in the impeachment?
Why
wasn't he impeached?
No. Wait a minute. That was brought up by Mueller when he testified, and he said Russia is still involved. And not only was he telling us something, the fact was they were involved. They were getting into the White House, the State Department, the Department of Energy, Department of Defense, Department of the Treasury, and major corporations. They've been doing that since March of last year.
They've been doing it a lot longer than that.
Probably
They've been doing
so.
it through
Probably
Obama.
so.
They've been doing it through Clinton. They've been doing it through all of them.
Bill Barr did not allow the report as written to come out.
So now Bill Barr's guilty of this.
Yes.
Is that because Trump appointed him?
Do you think he was representing the people? Or he was representing Barr? Or Trump?
No, I believe he was doing his job.
Oh, you believe that?
Yes.
Well, then there's nothing else to say. Because that's the crap that has been proven.
Now.
That's the crap that has been proven.
It's been proven. How has it been proven?
The attorneys came out and said that is not what the report said. Mueller came and testified and said that is not what the report said. But Barr would not allow it to come out.
Well, then he got away with a crime.
Yes, he got away with it. Yeah. Yes, he got away with it. Now, the situation with Zelensky, there is a phone call, and it is recorded, and there are 6 people that have access to it. We may, if Merrick Garland is put in, we may get to hear that. Now, remember, that was Trump's version of what happened.
Oh,
the perfect phone call. Yes, the perfect phone call. Was it Sondland? Sondland said there was a quid pro quo. There were people who testified that said there was a quid pro quo. They said something was happening.
What about all the lies that what about all the lies that you heard coming out during the congressional hearings for impeachment?
What lies?
I mean, just like Adam Schiff and all the lies that he put out there, that he had all the evidence and all this and that. And they never brought forward any of that. What about? What's his name?
Why do you say he didn't bring? Why do you say he didn't bring it forward?
They didn't.
They did.
There was not one crime listed on the impeachment.
They did bring it forward.
Where was the crime
listed?
They
did bring it forward because you didn't pay attention when McConnell.
Now I didn't.
When McConnell said it doesn't matter what you bring, he is not going to. That was 2 weeks before the hearing.
Just like the Democrats did with Clinton.
Senators came out afterwards and said, yes, he's guilty, but let's let the people decide in the election. It's too close to the election, so let's let the people decide. McConnell said there would be. No
There was
impeachment.
no crimes mentioned on the
Reread
impeachment
it.
articles.
Reread it.
There is none.
Also, they didn't get the information that they wanted. He fought the subpoenas.
He doesn't have a constitutional right to fight those?
Now, wait a minute.
Are you saying he has no constitutional rights?
Let me ask you something. If you have nothing to hide, why are you fighting it?
First off, are you trying to say he had no constitutional right to question the subpoenas?
No.
He didn't.
No.
He didn't have a right to go to the courts and say, hey, do I have to listen to these subpoenas?
The Congress didn't have
Did
the time.
he have the right to do it?
The Congress didn't have the time to
Answer
wait.
the question.
He had the right, he used it, and he didn't have the time to wait.
Oh, they didn't?
No.
Why didn't they have the time to wait?
Because it would have taken who knows how long. He would have kept it up and kept it. Okay.
That's the
all right.
way the courts
all right.
work.
Let's look at, well, now wait a minute. Barr was the one that came up and said, you cannot indict a sitting president. Now, that's not exactly what it said, because that came from the Nixon time, when they said Nixon could not be indicted. Remember also Spiro Agnew, too.
Right.
Because it would have put a burden on the country. Now, that had just started, but the Supreme Court also said no president is above the law.
Correct. But the problem is they didn't bring no crimes into it.
Okay, let's take an issue that everyone should know about.
Okay.
Trump's taxes.
What about him?
Now,
Is that an obligation for the president to provide his taxes?
actually it is.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
Not to be president.
Yeah, it
no,
is.
it isn't.
To bring him out, yes. And he said he was going to bring him out.
He said he was.
Okay,
yes,
let me
but
ask-
it's
okay,
not
all right. So,
not an
all right,
obligation of
giving
a
you-
person
giving
running
you
for president to
two cents
put his
worth.
taxes.
He fought it and he fought it. Now they're out.
Okay.
What do you think we're going to find?
Probably nothing, because if you do find something in him.
You
Now
are.
wait. He doesn't do his taxes personally. He
Wow,
pays
can you
accountants and everything else. No, wait. You show me one billionaire that does his own
You
taxes.
go to H&R Block, and when you sign
Yeah.
that tax form, you are responsible, not H&R Block, unless a mistake was made.
Exactly.
Unless a mistake was made.
Exactly.
Not if you gave them wrong information, if they put a slip digit.
I guarantee you, as a real estate person, that he has people who does his business transactions. He has people who does his taxes. They are going by the tax laws because they know they could be held culpable if they do them wrong.
You will defend him to no end.
I've had my own business.
You will defend him to no
I'm not
end.
defending him.
You are defending him.
No,
Yes,
I'm not.
you are. You're justifying what he did.
I am playing devil's advocate.
Okay, well, let's
on
throw
how
in
you're
another one
doing this.
then, so you can,
Okay.
putting in DeJoy in the post office. Legitimate thing? He fired the postmaster general.
Right.
And he put in DeJoy, and DeJoy promptly took out the separators, promptly cut overtime.
Okay, wait.
Promptly,
Before
and
you can even go there, before you even go there, does he have the right to do that? Does he have the right to appoint what he did as president?
Okay.
Wait, no.
Okay,
It's a simple
all right.
yes or no answer.
Giving you the yes, putting someone in that will sabotage, is that right?
No.
Just because you have the right to do it, there is a difference between right and wrong. And
Yes.
he was challenged on that issue
He's
even
been
before
challenged
the election.
on everything he's done. The Democratic Party has thrown everything
Because
at
the
him.
Republican Party is afraid of him because they don't want to lose their
Bullshit.
job. Bullshit! They don't want to lose their job. That's why they didn't impeach him. They
they're
knew
afraid to lose.
he did it. No, you gotta stop defending this son of a bitch.
I'm not defending him.
Yes,
I'm
you are.
playing
You're saying
devil's
he has a
advocate.
right to do this. He has a right to do that.
Does
but
he not?
Did he
Does-
win the election?
That wasn't even the question.
Did he win the election?
No. Okay, you went from his fighting the articles of impeachment, the right to defend himself against the subpoenas.
Why?
All of a sudden, you went all the way to.
Why?
Is that because you wanted to win something
Why?
on this argument?
Because he wanted to. He had to win the election.
He didn't have to.
He had to win it.
No, he
the
didn't.
fact of the matter is, he needed to win for the statute of limitations to run out. And he
If
knows
he's
it. And the
committed a
statute of
crime,
limitations is
if
5
he's-
years.
If he's committed a crime,
Even
he'll go
Mitch
to jail.
McConnell said it.
What?
He is
I don't care about that. If he
wanted to
committed a
win.
crime, he deserves
Okay,
to go to
all
jail.
right, let's take another issue because you seem to defend these stuff.
No, I'm defending
let's
the
go
Constitution,
call,
the
call
laws.
to Georgia when he tried to get the thing overturned. One with the governor.
Right.
Oh, guess who his new candidate is?
Who?
It's not Kanye West. Did you know he bankrolled Kanye West? His attorneys got Kanye West on the ballot. Why? Because he thought he'd take the black vote away from Biden. He did that.
Oh, so-
That is against the law. But that was traced and that was swept under. We won't talk about that. See, this is all. Let's not talk about it.
I like how you go and you keep
No, I'm
picking
saying
and choosing.
his new one
arguments.
His new one is Herschel Walker, who's going to go against Kemp. Now he called Kemp and said, "I want the election overturned." Kemp said, "First of all, I can't do it. I don't have the power to do it. Don't even come to me with that." That pissed him off. Second,
Who told you these?
that was in the paper.
Oh, okay.
That's been in the paper. And today, when the new one came out that he's endorsing Herschel Walker to be the next governor, okay, now, then he went to the Secretary of State. Now, you heard that phone call. Tell me that was legal. Tell me he
I
had the
didn't
right to
hear
do
it,
that.
but-
Oh, come on.
He can call whoever the hell he wants. I didn't say it was right.
Oh, okay. See, here's what it is. He has the right to do it.
Just like you and I do.
Just he has the right to steal money from the government. Just he has a right to make deals with Saudi Arabia. Just how about
Yeah, he
the
does
right,
have a right to make deals with Saudi Arabia.
not
as a
personal
president.
deals at
Not
the
personal.
expense
You
of the
didn't say
United
that.
States. Jared Kushner, his daughter, his sons, and he all made deals. And guess who the latest and
And
greatest is?
Biden, and
Guess
Hunter
who the
Biden.
greatest? Who the great? You know, you keep bringing up Hunter Biden.
First time I brought him up.
You've been running them up in the past, and all that stuff turned out to be bullshit. The flying from California to New Jersey, giving the computer to a blind man who saw the name Biden on there and called.
I just threw that at you to throw you
I know.
off.
No, because this is the stuff that he does. Don't look at what I'm doing. Look at him.
Same
he
thing that the
created,
Democratic Party
He
does.
created that.
They all do
Oh,
it.
no.
Politicians are all
No.
doing it. You expect the people of
Trump
this...
has taken it to a
new high?
level, a new high. But when you attack the Capitol, that insurrection, you're going to find out very shortly.
Okay.
Not only are you going to find out that was coordinated. Now, not everyone in it was coordinated. You're going to find out that was planned.
Okay.
Now, could Trump come out and tell people to do it? No, he could not.
Oh,
Could he plant the seed? Yes. Now, if I told you,
do you think any of the Democrats might have planted the seed for Seattle?
no,
No. They couldn't do that, could they?
no.
So you're saying only Trump can
well,
do that?
now wait a minute.
I'm just putting a possibility here. This is, again, devil advocate.
Seattle was Antifa, but who said it was Antifa?
Trump said it was Antifa.
Yeah, and so he had the proof, even though the FBI didn't.
So now we're
No.
actually reaching for proof.
No, what I'm saying. Well,
Okay,
where's
okay.
the proof on the election? It's a lie. It's
Where
a
did
lie.
we get back to the election?
It's-
We already know
it's
Trump lost the
same-
election.
No.
Trump
no.
doesn't admit
No.
to it, but
It's
we
the-
know he lost it.
Oh, yeah, but he's got these people believing. And he's got them so angry that they want violence. You better watch those films because
No,
when
I don't
you-
need to watch them because I'm not interested in the past. What I'm interested in is what the future goes for our country and our
what
state.
I'm saying is you are seeing us turn into an autocracy. You are seeing a man who's throwing
I
democracy
see us
away.
turning into a socialist country.
Look up the word socialist and read about it before you start doing that. Because a socialist was...
Russia?
Come on. No?
China?
Uh,
Venezuela?
Yeah, keep going.
Well, I don't know of any other
Hitler
ones.
was socialist.
Oh, here we go with Hitler. Okay.
I will explain the Hitler connection.
You
When
can't.
Hitler started out, he came out of jail, he started a group. He became very popular in it. His speeches drove people, he rounded them up, He got them on his side. That was a formation of the Nazi Party.
Yes.
That did happen. He started with what they called the German Bar Putsch. This happened right after 1929 when the United States started to withdraw the money that they were giving. Well, obviously, we know why that happened. But that's when he got to the people and he said, see what they did? See what they're doing? Look what they're doing to you. I told you this was going to happen. There's a difference between right and wrong.
You do not hear Trump going out there preaching about the Aryan race. You do not
They don't have to preach about the Aryan race. That came later.
It's still.
That came later.
This is the thing. The reason I say you cannot compare Hitler to Trump is because no matter how you look at the situation,
Hitler's movement started the same way.
You think the people of this country are stupid enough to cross over that line?
They were stupid enough to go to the insurrection.
Go to the insurrection.
Yeah.
So you're saying it was a whole planned insurrection?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
And so did Christopher Wray today. He said these were domestic terrorists. But the one thing that domestic terrorism has is you can't shoot them. You cannot. You can, if it was Muslim, if it was outside the country, they can shoot to kill. You cannot do it within the United States boundaries and against an American citizen.
But you can try them for treason.
No, they aren't trying them for treason.
I said they could. If this is a coup, they could try them for treason. Take them out back and execute them after they're found guilty.
So let's see. So if they turn on Trump and they say, yeah, Trump did have a connection to it, would that be treason?
Are you trying to say if they threw Trump under the bus?
Well, the next thing that they're investigating is congressional.
I can't see Trump as trying to throw a coup like the Democrats did.
Democrats didn't throw a coup.
Yes, they did. There
was no coup.
With the fake articles of impeachment.
There was no coup. That
was a coup.
A coup.
That was a coup.
A coup is an absolute takeover, and Mike Pence would have taken over after.
Coup.
No,
yes.
That's a Trump word. Trump learned the word.
No, that's not a Trump word. That's a word from the dictionary.
Trumpy Poo learned the word coup from Stephen Miller and Steve Bannon and used it.
When I sat there and watched the Democratic Party try to disband
the Democratic
country
Party
that I fought for in the United States.
You fought for this country, and he said that the ones that died were losers.
No,
he also did. Yes, he did.
No, he did.
Yes, he did.
No, he did.
Yes, he did. And there were witnesses that heard it.
Yeah.
Because
there's always witnesses that have heard him say and do things.
They heard him say it.
Yes. Okay.
Also, he didn't fight. You fought. He didn't. He got out of it.
You're right.
He knew more than the
generals.
generals.
He was a flat foot, I think.
No, he wasn't. His father got deferments, 5 deferments for bone spurs from a doctor.
Yeah, that was right. You're right. He got out of that
exchange.
Yeah.
But yet, he can call John McCain a loser because
that was
he got
wrong
captured.
of him to do that. Go ahead and end the show.
Oh, man.
I won't let you get me wound up anymore.
Okay.
It'll end up causing you to get wound up, not me.
Well,
now you're going to try next time, aren't you?
I don't know. Okay. Well, we'll see you next week. More arguing.
Less on my part.
Till next week. We'll see you.
Have a good evening.